Hi, I'm Oxley, and this is Good News at International Tampere. We're here to show you the ins and outs of the city, talk to internationals who have moved to the area, and keep you up to date on what's going on. On today's episode, we'll talk all things food and meet Chef Tam to hear about the inspiration behind his restaurants. But now, we'll learn about the future of food sustainability in Tampere.
Food. It's everywhere and deeply rooted in our culture. It is part of our daily lives for either sustenance or enjoyment. But with a growing population and with the climate crisis we are facing, what can we do and what is being done to help the situation? We talked to Karoliina Tukkanen to get the inside scoop about food sustainability and Tampere's role.
One of the things which is really important and a huge thing in sustainability and something that we can all sort of have an effect on, and the city also does quite a lot in that, is food. And that's where my project Fusilli comes in, because Fusilli is then all about sustainable food systems and how we can make those happen.
Sustainability in Tampere is linked with the Fusilli project. The Fusilli project involves 12 cities, 34 partners, with Tampere being one of them. They use tools to direct the city planning towards more sustainability, such as edible plants and plants that are good pollinators, both of which are really important in our food systems. And for the first time, they also want to take a closer look at what cities can do in food systems.
We have education in our hands and we have land management in our hands. We have a lot of citizens that are actually producing food in city-owned land, and we have a lot of tools which we can use in city planning.
One of the main tools the project uses is a living lab. It invites everyone to participate, from citizens to companies to academia. Each partner city will build their own different lab, where each lab will have to work closely together to help each other build a better and successful sustainable food system.
Obviously, when we look at sustainable actions, and especially sustainable actions for the citizens, food is such an integral part of that, because people eat and they have to eat and they consume food and they make food choices. So I'm actually quite happy that we get that theme more strongly into the city agenda, because it hasn't been there that much yet. So that's something that I'm really excited about.
Even though there's a long road ahead, Tampere's forward-thinking, talented people and the other cities working on the Fusilli project will hopefully start a conversation that will grow and lead us to a brighter and more successful future.
Now, let's ask what the public thinks about food in Tampere. Quick question. What are your favorite restaurants in Tampere?
Probably like Manhattan, Aloha Ramen, Cafe Pispala, classic Rakonnakki, and then this Korean place, Hanguk. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I've had that. It's great.
It's new.
All right.
Check it out.
Do you have any idea what food sustainability is?
100, do you mean?
Can you maybe take a guess? What would food sustainability mean? Just guess.
You love food?
That you love food? That's a pretty good guess. What are like practical ways us as a society we can be more food sustainable?
At first, we can just eat as much as we need and not waste the food just for nothing. So take as much as you need.
Yeah, that's practical. Okay, another question. What's your favorite Finnish food?
Oh, I like potato, any kind of.
Any kind of potato. Thank you very much.
No.
If you want to learn more about living, working, or studying in Tampere, visit internationalhousetampere.fi. Here you can find a wide array of free services, as well as advising in 14 different languages. Finally, we'll head to Aloha Ramen to meet Chef Tam, one of the faces bringing new cuisines to Tampere.
Hi, my name is Tam To. I'm Vietnamese American. I've been living here and working in Finland for 8.5 years now. Like most immigrant stories, we fled Vietnam after the war in 1975 when I was a year old. We relocated to, I think we first started off in Virginia, and then eventually to Connecticut, where I think I spent about 18, 19 years of my life there. and my parents had a restaurant there. And then gradually went to San Diego. I was in the Navy for 6 years, traveled a little bit, came back, and then my parents opened a restaurant in San Diego. And that was when I decided that I was going to help them out with a family restaurant. So I did that, went to culinary school in San Francisco, and then after that, just looked around. A big part of my culinary knowledge was that I was fortunate to work in a big casino where we had 6, 7 different restaurants, and working with people from all over the world. So I just absorbed everything that the cooks and the chefs I worked with offered for me. I used to work with a Finnish chef, and the whole time he's like, "Hey, let's do something in Finland." Eventually, about 9 years ago, gave me a call, and two days later, I went into work and I put my 2-week notice in. And in 3.5 weeks, I sold everything and moved to Finland. Me and him, we opened up the Cafe Pispola, which is the first of its kind. I think the only one still that served like a proper American-style pancakes, breakfast, and with the lunch and dinner menu that changes every week. So one week it could be Mexican, next week Italian, next week could be Thai, South American. So originally when I came here, the whole concept was American-style, lunch and then breakfast. I'm proud of what we did there at Cafe Pispola. It's just, you can't get a table there now on the weekend without reservation. So eventually, I felt that still in Tampere 8 years ago, things are improving a lot now. But 8 years ago, there really wasn't any mid-range food between 10 and 15 euros that I felt that was made fresh. Part of working at Cafe Pispola was also like my test kitchen. Basically I did ramen there a couple of times, like maybe a dozen times as I've been there. And each time I try to make it better and better on how to improve it. And then at that time, it caught the ear and caught the eye of some investors, so my business partners. And so they asked me if I want to open a ramen restaurant. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we opened a ramen restaurant, and about a year and a half later, they asked me what else am I craving here, and Mexican food. There's no good Mexican food here. It's just like, now there's options, but back then there was the chains and that was it. So we're pretty proud of bringing that over here. One thing that I miss every time I go back to America is like you can literally throw a rock. You want Greek food, throw a rock, there's a Greek restaurant. Yeah, you want Turkish food, throw a rock, there's a Turkish restaurant. I want that culture here where, my days off, I can pick and choose, different types of food to eat. And that's the big challenge here now. Like I said, it's getting better, but there's still a lot of room for growth here still.